English snacks.
Hey everyone, welcome back to English Snacks, the podcast where we serve you short, tasty bites of the English language. I'm Michael, and I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Kendra. Kendra, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really well, actually. A little tired, but good tired, you know? The kind of tired you feel after a day of things you actually chose to do.
Good tired. I love that distinction. There is a real difference between tired because life happened to you and tired because you made something happen yourself.
Exactly. And funnily enough, that connects to today's episode because today we're talking about choice. Specifically, the choice to say no, and how to do it in English without sounding rude, cold, or guilty.
Such a good topic, and a personal one for me. I was not good at saying no for a long time, in any language.
Same. And when you're learning English, it gets even harder because you don't always have the words. So instead of saying no, you say yes and regret it, or you go completely silent.
And going silent is somehow worse. The other person thinks you're being mysterious, when really you just didn't have the vocabulary.
I'm not mysterious, I'm just underprepared. That should be a t-shirt.
Okay, so today's episode is for anyone who has ever said yes when they meant no, who has felt guilty for having a limit. We are fixing that today. But first, did anyone use Bless Your Heart from last week? Drop a comment and let us know. Warm or sarcastic, we want to know. All right, let's talk about saying no.
Let's start with something honest. Why is it so hard? No is a complete sentence, 2 letters, but saying it to someone in the moment, in English.
It feels like slamming a door in someone's face.
Yes, and I think there are 2 reasons. One, in a lot of cultures, saying no to a request feels like rejecting the person, not just the idea. And 2, in English, politeness matters. If you don't have the right vocabulary yet, your no can land harder than you mean it to.
And that's the key. It's not about being more confident or less caring. It's about having the right tools. Because a well-phrased no can be just as warm as a yes.
So let's give you those tools. In English, a polite no usually has 3 parts. Michael, walk us through them.
Sure. Acknowledge, decline, and, optionally, offer an alternative. Let's take them one by one. First, acknowledge. This means you show the person you heard them that their request matters to you, even though your answer is no. You might say, I really appreciate you thinking of me, or that sounds like a great opportunity. None of these commit you to anything. You're just saying, I see you and I value you.
And that one sentence changes everything. Compare, I can't come, to, that sounds so fun, I'm not going to be able to make it. Same answer, but the second one feels so much warmer.
Exactly. The acknowledgement is the cushion. Okay, part 2, the decline, the actual no. And English gives us a lot of ways to say this without sounding cold. Kendra, what are your favorite phrases?
My absolute go-to is, I'm not going to be able to make it. I love it. Natural, final, not harsh. And there's some good grammar in there. Going to makes the refusal feel like a fixed fact, like circumstances are preventing you, rather than you just choosing no. It softens it slightly without being dishonest.
Another one I love is, that doesn't work for me right now. So clean. No over-explaining, no asking for permission. It just states a fact and closes the conversation.
And here's something important. The more reasons you give when you say no, the more material you hand the other person to negotiate with.
Yes, I learned that the hard way. I used to give 7 reasons why I couldn't come to a dinner, and the person solved every single one. Suddenly, I was going to the dinner.
Every reason is a problem they can fix. So keep it warm, keep it short. You don't owe anyone a paragraph.
Other phrases worth knowing are, I appreciate the offer, but I'll have to pass. Or, I won't be able to commit to that. And one of my favorites for social situations is, I'm going to sit this one out.
Sit this one out is so good. It sounds like you're not rejecting the person, just this particular moment. And if you end with, have an amazing time, the whole thing stays light and warm.
Perfect. Now, part 3, the alternative. This is optional, but when you offer something in place of your no, it shows you still care. Just not right now, or not in this way. I can't do Friday, but I'd love to catch up next week. Or, I can't take this on right now. Maybe we revisit it in a few weeks.
And grammatically, notice the word but connecting everything. But isn't a wall, it's a door. You're redirecting, not ending.
Okay, let's make it real. 3 scenarios. Scenario 1. Your colleague messages you on Friday asking you to cover their weekend shift. You already have plans.
Using the 3 parts, I'd say, I really wish I could help. I can hear you're in a tough spot, but I'm not going to be able to cover that shift. I already have something I can't move. Have you tried asking Jamie?
Perfect. Acknowledge, I wish I could help. Decline, I'm not going to be able to. Alternative, have you tried Jamie? 4 sentences, warm, clear, done.
Scenario 2, a friend invites you to a party. You're exhausted. Your only reason is you need rest, and that is a valid reason.
People feel like rest isn't a good enough excuse, but it absolutely is. You can simply say, that sounds so fun. I'm gonna sit this one out though. I really need a quiet night. Have the best time and tell me everything.
Short, warm, no guilt. Tell me everything keeps the friendship alive even though you're not going.
Scenario 3, the hardest one. Someone asks you for a favor. Not because you're busy, you just don't want to do it. And that is okay.
We've been taught that I don't want to needs a better excuse, but you can just say, I appreciate you thinking of me, but that's not something I'm going to be able to take on. Warm, clear, finished. No paragraph of apologies needed.
Listeners, write that phrase down. That's not something I'm going to be able to take on. It works in every situation, conversations, emails, meetings. It sounds fluent and professional even at intermediate level.
And for a more formal version, I'm not in a position to take that on right now. Vocabulary note, position here means your current situation or capacity, not your job title. I'm not in a position to means given where I am right now, this isn't possible. Elegant and clear.
Before we wrap up, I want to say one thing about the guilt, because even with the right phrases, saying no can still feel bad, and that feeling is normal, but it doesn't mean you did something wrong.
In many cultures, no feels like a personal rejection, but in English communication, a clear and kind no is actually a sign of respect. It's more respectful than saying yes and not following through.
A reluctant yes serves nobody. It creates resentment in you and unreliable expectations for the other person.
And once you practice these phrases a few times in low-stakes situations, the guilt gets smaller because you start to see that people respect a clear, warm no. It doesn't end relationships, it builds trust.
Quick recap. 3-part structure for a polite no. Acknowledge, I really appreciate you thinking of me. Decline, I'm not going to be able to make it. That doesn't work for me. I'm going to sit this one out. Alternative, I can't do Friday, but how about next week? And the phrase to take with you today. That's not something I'm going to be able to take on.
The big lesson, your no is not a rejection of a person. It's a clear, honest, kind communication of your limits. And knowing how to say it well is one of the most important fluency skills in English.
Your challenge this week, write a short dialogue in the comments. Someone asks you something, you say no politely. Use at least one of today's phrases. We read every single one.
If today helped you, please like, subscribe, and share with someone who needs to hear that it is okay to say no.
Until next time, keep listening, keep practicing. A kind no is always better than a reluctant yes. Take care, everyone.
Bye for now. See you in the next episode.